You with Kung Fu Eddie. He will fight you to the death.
What's up, everybody? Oh my god, that's like too hard. This is Kung Fu Eddie, baby, and I'm here at the Tech Link Library doing another content. As you can tell, it's a little bit different. This is my sala, mi salita, because Bad Bunny took over casita, so this is my salita. I don't even know if that's a real word or not. Anyways, thank you guys for liking, subscribing, all of my content. Now, I'm here with a very special guest. I've been watching this man work, legit work, because technically, he has my dream job. Anyways, let me introduce you to Dr. Kent, baby. Yes,
What's going on, man? How you
What's
doing?
Up, man? How are you, man?
Good, good. It's good to
Good,
see you.
good.
Thanks for
Likewise,
having me.
man. So I wish this was the first time meeting each other.
I know.
We ran into each other on Wednesday at AEW. As
Absolutely.
Recording.
Amazing.
We're on Saturday. So, anyways, asking the most important question: How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. I'm feeling blessed today. I'm happy to be here. It's an honor to be here to talk with you.
No, it's an honor of mine because, like I said, the guy behind Kung Fu Eddie, he went to school and he went to school for kinesiology. And once I started seeing your videos pop up with reality wrestling, I'm like, man, I have my dream job.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's start from the beginning.
Yeah, man.
Who are you? Why should we care?
Yeah.
And why do I love you so much?
That's very sweet of you, man. I'm Ken. I've been a doctor of physical therapy for about 8 years now. I had just recently finished my fellowship in manual therapy. So a lot of physical therapists that you see, they want to do continuing education, and that's one of the best ways to do it. So like I think 1% of all orthopedic outpatient PTs are a fellow of physical therapy. So when I say stuff on my account where I'm like, yeah, you know, the wrestlers deserve the best and they should have the best, like that's only partially fluff. Like I'm there and I'm offering my skills and my talents to them because I believe if they're out there giving the fans and all of us an entertainment and an escape from reality, they should be able to be treated extremely well in the background too. They're athletes, why not? You know, all the other sports have them. The wrestlers should too. And so yeah, I've been doing this for 8 years, and I just kind of found my way over to reality of wrestling through a chance meeting with Queen Charmel.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were graced with royalty.
I was graced with royalty, man. I kind of jokingly think about it as almost like it's like a queen's gambit, if you will. You know, you have to sacrifice a move to get yourself into a better positioning, right? Yeah. So like in her instance, Queen Charmel sacrificed at the beginning access and trust because she was feeling my vibe. Apparently, that's what she had told me. She was feeling my vibe. I had a good vibe about me, and in order to kind of help with reality of wrestling and enhance them in any way possible. So I've been doing this with them since I want to say June.
Okay, so it's very recent because, like I said, you know how algorithms work.
Yeah.
You start going to like in the deep spiral of freaking Instagram and TikToks and all that. Like you get to the point that like this is my algorithm, and then I ran into your profile.
That's crazy.
And I feel like you just had one picture in your profile when I started
for
following
a while.
you.
Yeah.
So it got to the point that I started following your stories, and I was just like madly, I don't know if that's excessive, but like I was madly in love with you because I was just
awesome,
like,
man. I appreciate
why
that.
is this guy doing the best work? Because again, like my goal in overall with my degree, which is in kinesiology, if some of y'all are curious, I do want to help out with like older people, elderly people, especially for assisted and independent living, making sure that they're still understanding that they could be active.
Absolutely.
They can have the best exercise they want. And especially with anybody that's autistic, Down syndrome, special abilities, just any of that, because I feel like those are the most forgotten.
Absolutely.
In society, they're like the most forgotten. And I feel like I am here to try to either help out or entertain you guys. So, and one of my dream jobs is definitely applying my skills in wrestling. Because I wanted to be a wrestler, but I was just like, no, never mind. I'll just
for sure.
I'll just go to school like my parents told me.
That's what I did. I just went to school like my parents told me. You know.
But did you ever have that desire to work with wrestlers, or just having the cliche of timing is everything?
No, I mean, I was a huge wrestling fan since I was a kid. I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up.
Exactly my point.
You know what I mean?
And I'll share my story, and I can't wait to
So
hear yours.
this is great. So I, from middle school up until high school, I was a huge wrestling fan. I would follow, right? The Attitude Era, all that stuff, fantastic. WWE, WCW, Monday Night Wars, all that, ECW even. And then I had met someone, and as relationships go, I tend to lose some. I give up some of my interest, so I stopped watching wrestling for quite a bit. I'd keep up every so often. And long story short, I ended up getting. So my bachelor's is in psychology. So I think that's what kind of helped get drawn into the whole wrestling world, because a lot of it's just psychology. You know, and so getting drawn in that regard. I ended up getting a master's in sports medicine along down the lines, because I was in Georgia for a little bit, and I didn't want to just stay at the apartment, like while my then ex was like, you know, going to school. So I'm like, I'm gonna go do sports medicine, right?
Yeah, you're gonna do some cool stuff.
Yeah, so I'm mixing, like, now I've got a psychology background, and then a master's in sports medicine. Shout out to Diallo for getting me, yeah, man, for getting me into the whole strength and conditioning arena. So that's part of it, was becoming a certified strength and conditioning specialist. So I have that as my certification in the back. So I've had that since, oh my gosh, 2009, 2010, something like that. But then from there, I became a personal trainer, and they would not give me health insurance. I was like, dude, I'm here all the time. Give me health insurance. They wouldn't give it to me. So,
anyways.
Yeah.
I got a lot to say about that, but let's
I'm
keep
with
it
you,
positive.
man. I'm with you. Chance encounter with someone else gave me an opportunity to volunteer. It's always the volunteering, getting your name out there, right?
Yeah.
So I started volunteering, and I was I was volunteering at Houston Methodist in Sugar Land.
Okay.
And they eventually had a tech job opening. And so I was like, well, let me do that. So they picked me up. And then I finally had health insurance. So that's how I got my health insurance.
That's how we get jobs. Like, what are the benefits?
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate the hours and the pay, but what are the benefits?
Absolutely,
Now that
man.
you get older, you're
I
like,
know.
I need some benefits.
That's it, yeah. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm doing the personal training thing. I had my own sports medicine business with a chiropractor at the time also, so I was doing a double job thing. But I'm just happy I had my insurance. Well, one of the PTs there, again, shout out to Brian Duncan. You're the only reason that I'm here today doing what I'm doing.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, and actually it's because of him that I actually met my now wife, because we went to school together. So thank you, Brian. Thank you so much.
You did so much.
He legit he went up to me and he goes, have you ever thought about being a PT? And I said, no. And then he's like, you should, you'd be good. And I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
So he helped me get into PT school, wrote a letter of recommendation. I get in, and I fall in love with the profession after about a year. I still wasn't sure. I was like, this is at least like a paycheck.
Yeah.
But then that's when I realized, like, I can merge strength and conditioning, exercise as medicine, and just like kind of taking into consideration the patient's wholeness as a person and their lifestyle, and then trying to see what I can do to impact their lives. So similar to what you're talking about, but with your very specific, like, population that you want to work with, that's incredible to hear from me, because I'm thinking to myself, like, you want to do this type of stuff with the patients you want to, and a lot of people don't even think those patients should do exercises or movements the way a regular person would.
Because, like, once you see them in a nursing home, they're like, no, they're done.
Dude.
They're done with life. And it's like, no, they still, like, have a lot to live. And I had a taste of it, but sadly I had to go because my mom was diagnosed with cancer. But she survived. She's good.
Good.
You know, she's growing the same hair as I am. She lost her hair, and I told her, like, man, I guess I am your son, because look at those little chinos. So... Again, your story is so amazing, because it's almost the same thing as mine, because I fell in love with wrestling. I grew up in the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's all good, man.
Rey Mysterio,
Legends.
best wrestlers
Legends.
on Friday Night SmackDown, Thursday Night SmackDown.
Absolutely.
And the moment that my dad got us cable, you know, the black box. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
I was flipping through the channels, and I run into the History Channel. I don't know if you remember Fight Science.
Yes.
Where you basically, like, they do, like, the whole mechanics of why this roundhouse kick hurts, why this punch hurts. And I was just so fascinated because, again, it's connected to wrestling.
Yes.
Because I'm like, why is this suplex hurt? Why does this 619 take so much energy for you to do your whole body like that? So I fell in love with that. And the moment I got to middle school, I started studying martial arts. I started studying Tong Sudo, and then, like, early college, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So again, it started going to the idea, like, what can I do that falls in the same category as what I love. Well, Google helped me out, and the first thing that popped in was kinesiology.
Yeah, man.
So I went to community college at Warden County in Sugar Land, and then went to HBU, which we will talk about since you said that you're a former alumni. And then I got my master's degree at Lamar with the same degree, just kinesiology. The only thing negative about me is that I didn't volunteer.
Okay.
I thought it was all books. You know your knowledge. You know this and that. And once I went out to the real world, they're like, you have no experience.
Right.
So I wish I could just go back in time and just tell myself, stop being shy, go and talk to people. Because I found out in high school, we had a sports medicine department.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, 4 years wasted. Because I was so focused on becoming a black belt. I was so focused on, like you, dating women. Like, I was at the point that I was so distracted. It's almost like that horse little blind that you're just focused on one narrow place and you can't open your blinders to see what's around you. And I wish I had someone to guide me, because I feel like that's the only thing negative about being first generation is that nobody's guiding you.
Oh, sure.
And like, since I grew up as a shy kid, I mean, you know that old saying, closed mouths don't feed. So as long as if I don't speak up, then I won't get it. Now that I'm older, finding guys like you and hearing your stories, and I'm just like, man, I guess the only thing I would have done just volunteer.
yeah. And I did it because I needed health insurance. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? It just worked out.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe kinesiology is not my path. Maybe I just did it, and maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe it's this whole podcast, which I appreciate you guys like and subscribe. Don't forget that.
It's fantastic.
Appreciate it. So going back to HBU,
yeah, man.
Please tell me the story, and please tell me it wasn't 2018 to 2019, because I would be so upset.
No.
If you were there, and I was there still being quiet.
Like, we're missing all the opportunities. No, man, this was back in, I want to say it was like probably 04, 05. So this is
so
it was truly HBU, not HCU. They had
we don't call it HCU. I'm gonna call you HBU. I'm gonna call it HBU. My degree says HBU.
Yeah. Well, it's so I transferred actually over there because I wanted to. My background was in psychology, right? But my mom was a nurse.
Yeah.
You know, as Filipinos are, and
the cliche.
yeah, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life, and then but I got into HBU, yeah, so I was there for their. Oh, dude, it's so much truth to it, but I was there for their nursing program, and I was doing that for a little bit, and I enjoyed it. It was good. I liked that one-on-one care with the patients and things like that. But life just took me a different direction, so I ended up leaving HBU, and then that's when I pursued my master's in sports med.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where did you get? And it's the same HBU, right?
No, that was in Savannah, Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was just there, like
you just traveling the whole world.
Man, I was just the longest route possible to get to where I'm at today.
Right? No, for me, like my mom was just like, hey man, I can't afford this. I'm like, all right, I'll do it local. Chose the most privatest, most expensive school ever.
We did it big.
Like, but it's around the corner.
yeah, it makes a difference. Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
2 freeways away. I could get home easily.
Absolutely, man.
But once I chose Lamar, then that's when my mom was just like, why Lamar? And I was like, I mean, the cheapest one. And then when I went there, I was like, man, I should have got my undergrad degree here, man. Because again, it's like one of those things that you just don't know until you discover it.
Absolutely.
And again, like, my mom told me, hey, keep it local. And I was just like, all right, well, U of H doesn't have it, so HBU has it.
And in hindsight's 2020, right? And everyone has a path. Like, I didn't have a plan per se. I just knew, like, I was meant for something bigger than what I thought I was. I was like boxed myself in, right? And so, like, I mean, I'm 40. You know, I've got the
fantastic.
Thank you, bro. I've got that Asian gene. I'm gonna look like this until I'm like 87, and then I'm gonna be like this later on. But
we'll talk about lotion.
Right. Man. Like I think it's just like the life experiences that you accumulate over time that kind of helps merge you and fold you or form you into who you're gonna be.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, as much as I want to be like, I need to streamline this. I should have done this and that. I can't say that, because if I did do that, I wouldn't have the experiences and like, and the stuff to help make me who I am today. So like in your case, it's never too late. It's more just how do we put it all together and turn into what you want it to turn into?
For sure.
You know?
And that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Especially because, like I said, I don't want to get political, but like
the
way things are going right now, it's hard to find something. So the moment I got a job, even though it's not the job that I want, it's just the experience that I was given.
Absolutely.
So I got to take what I need and hopefully save up. And like I told you privately, like I do want to get a certification in strength and
Yeah,
conditioning.
for sure.
So I feel like that's something that I am passionate about. I am, as you can tell, like I am a big boy, but my knees still work. Knees like Megan. I'm just saying, Megan Thee Stallion. I want you in my pod too. So I can still squat all the way down.
Yeah.
I can still do every single motion because like I try to make sure that I'm warm up properly. Because one of my coaches like think of your body like a mozzarella stick. If
Okay.
it's cold, you try to break. It breaks easy.
Yeah.
But if you warm it up, it oozes out.
Oh, that's nice.
So you have to like warm up your body. So when it comes to educating wrestlers, how do you educate them to make sure that they don't injure themselves? Because again, we know how dangerous the sport is. I shout out to Phoenix Lucha. Like I seen the ring. I finally saw the ring, how it's built.
Yeah.
So it ain't a trampoline, guys. I don't know how many times people have to tell you that.
Yeah, no.
So how do you tell these wrestlers that are just coming up, especially the younger ones, to the most experienced one like Gino Medina and Ruthless Ryan Davison, how do you educate them to make sure to warm up properly in order to give the best performance in the ring?
Yeah, well, so I haven't done any seminars yet with them. I'd love to do that. That'd be amazing.
I want to be there.
Oh, dude, I would invite you for sure. Like, because I started out by watching their practices and seeing how they move, right? And then I took that information. I'm like, okay, I understand what this movement requires from each joint and things like that. So, like, are they moving well? And then based on how they're squatting in the gym, I'm like, okay, this person probably has tight hips and it's not quite loosened up, things like that. And then when they come see me and they have their injuries, they're usually a lot more open and there's a lot less ego in the present. It's to the side because they're trying to get better, right? And so that's my opportunity to educate them on like, okay, this is what's going on with you, right? If you have a shoulder issue, like this is why it's happening. We need to strengthen this out, improve your rotator cuff stabilizers, things like that. Like I'll talk them through it and then I'll give them exercises.
Yeah.
And then they are usually pretty dang good about following up and doing what they're supposed to do. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure they circulate what I've shared with them to others, which is amazing. Like y'all are doing amazing work in that regard, right? Like you gotta stay healthy. And so I think that's the biggest bang for the buck. Like I'm just trying to make sure that they're aware that I am a resource available to them that they normally otherwise wouldn't have. So take advantage of it, right? And so if I can get them moving and even save their matches because of an injury, I'll do it like right on the spot. Yeah. It just takes a little bit more creativity because it's like on the go, it's fast, and you got to keep moving.
For sure. And again, shout out to Phoenix Lucha, shout out to Reality Wrestling. I went backstage. And Booker T said in so many pods, even in his own, that he wanted to turn Reality Wrestling as his own PC. And I mean, they did it successfully because now they're part of the WWE ID. And honestly, give this man a job now because I honestly believe that you were the missing piece in order to become that PC. Because when you see backstage of like NXT, of like that PC tour, they have everything, and so does Reality Wrestling. But honestly, you were like the missing key in order for these guys to be successful, not only in Reality Wrestling, but all over the world. And hopefully, praise to God, maybe go to WWE, go to NXT, go to Evolve. I honestly think that you were the missing piece because you want to educate them of how to stay longevity in this game, because we've heard it so many times of like some of these wrestlers have a bump card. So, and with you, I feel like you're technically giving them an extra 10
yeah,
bump
man.
cards. Like,
here
hey,
you go. Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
So you see them perform, you see them doing this and that. Now they're coming backstage and they say, hey, Dr. Ken, I need to cool down my body. I need to make sure that I don't feel this in the morning. What do you educate them as well? Because we talked about the warm-up.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about the cool down. How would you cool them down?
Are we talking like post-match, or are we talking
post-match.
about...
Like after Gino gave us a big fight. I'm shouting out Gino because I love that man.
He's an amazing guy.
Like Gino just comes up to me like, man, Dr. Ken, man, freaking Ruthless got me. He got me, man. I need to fix my back, man. How do I do it?
Yeah. Well, it depends on the severity of the injury, or if they want me to work on them after the event. They typically, after the match is over, I typically will hang out for a little bit. Sometimes people will come up to me with a significant like injury, and then I'll fix them up, and then they're able to move again. But they'll usually catch me like through my direct messages, and I'll go to Reality Wrestling at least once a week. I try to during the week so that they have access to me then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends. If it's more just like injury management and pain control, we're gonna go with
Okay.
the ice and just kind of decrease the amount of like stress that they're putting through those joints that they're dealing with. If it's more of a stiffness, tightness, like I'll go out there for Gino. That guy's got like he's got unlimited access to me. That's a whole story. But
I know. He always brags that he's not even 30. I hate that. That's the only thing I hate about you, Gino.
yeah, that's the truth. But yeah, like so, I'll go out there. I'll do a movement assessment, find what's stiff on the person, and if I find what's stiff, I will give exercises and be like, do these, and these. I'll run it through them with them, and to make sure that they're familiar with how to do it. Then I'll send them some of the exercises to do as well, to help keep their mobility going. And like I can tell when you're not doing your exercises. You're not gonna trick me.
Trust me.
I promise you.
Trust me, I love that because the moment like I did a little bit of chiropractor, and when I went into the office, they were like, "Yeah, you're not doing this, aren't you?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
how do you develop that eye? Because that's always something that, hey, if I don't succeed in kinesiology, if I don't succeed on my background, I just want to have that eye.
Yeah,
I just want to have
yeah.
that, like, bro, you're not. Your shoulder is jacked up. Like, why is your hips locked?
Yeah.
Like, I want to get to that point. So
For
how do you
sure.
develop that eye?
Yeah, a lot of it's just repetition. So like I have in my mindset like a checklist also of what I'm looking for if I'm looking at someone's squat, for instance, right? I'll take them through some stuff like some exercises or mobility prep in preparation for a squat. Then I'll work them through the control for the squat. And if they come back to me like a week or two later and their squat looks almost the exact same with no improvements, that's when I know. Like I'm like, okay, we haven't been working on hip mobility, or maybe they have been because they've been messaging me. You know, like they're like, I'm doing this. What else can I do?
Yeah.
Maybe they just need a new exercise, and I'll do a quick assessment on that joint and work on it again. So like I said at Roe, they're all usually pretty dang good about it.
that's
You know,
good.
patient population as a whole, I feel like in the clinic and whatnot, maybe not so much. You know. But at Reality of Wrestling, they take what I do seriously and they respect it. So they're good about doing their exercises.
Well, because again, with like regular patients, like the average Joe, yeah, they're just going there because their insurance is covering
Yes.
it, so they're just like, whatever, you know,
Right.
whatever happens, happens. But with Reality of Wrestling and those wrestlers, like they want to stay longevity, and that's one thing that they'll probably appreciate you because that's the advantage that they're taking. Booker T and Queen Charmel, they're like, hey, we got this guy. Take advantage of him. You passed the vibe test. If you can't tell by this interview, this man passed the vibe test the moment he came in. So
Appreciate that, man.
So why not take advantage of it?
Right.
And with all that being said, is reality wrestling the only goal, or would you like to work with AEW, WWE, TNA? Hell, even go to freaking New Japan. Like, go to Japan and help out Hiroshi Tanahashi for his last match, you know?
Right.
Is your goal to try to expand your knowledge throughout the whole, like, big companies?
That's part of it. I definitely want to make an impact with the combination of skills and just like talent that I have. I consider Reality of Wrestling home. Right.
Yes.
That's my launch. At the very least, it's a launch pad. I want to legitimatize sports medicine and physical therapy and all those things that you need to use to take care of your body so that you can keep functioning. I want to legitimatize that and push that forward because these people, like these wrestlers, need that. Right. And like it's time for them to be taken seriously the same way an NBA player is or an MLB player is. Right.
Yeah.
Like at the very least, get them the help that they
I'm
need.
like, there's a reason why LeBron James he wants to take care of his body.
Millions a year to take care of his body, right? But like we can't get these wrestlers just like some pro bono care like I'm providing them, like on a somewhat consistent basis for them to at least feel better in their lower back, for instance, before a match. Like that's crazy to me. So this is one of those things where it's like the profession in the field of physical therapy extremely powerful, but we're also limited by like politics and things like that. But like we can think outside the box, and we have really, really powerful influence with movement. That's like what we do. So it's like I'm encouraging physical therapists to like share your gift with people that need it. You know, think outside the box. Like the whole wrestling thing, it kind of came about when I would watch wrestlers wrestle, and I'm like, man, I wonder if they have anybody. And all I did was ask Charmel, and then she said no. Like they're independent contractors. They don't really have anyone to like help take care of them. So I'm like, so you get injured and you don't know where to go from there. And she's like, pretty much. Like they'll go to a chiropractor, they'll go to whoever they can and do what they can, right? And so like with me being there, the first couple months over there, it was I don't want to say it was rough. It wasn't rough. It was more just
had
like
that
the feeling out.
Because it's like you're an outsider.
I'm an outsider,
Like,
right?
who are you?
Exactly.
And again, like that's why in the beginning, that's why
Yeah.
I say like, why should we care? And
Yeah.
hopefully by the end of this episode, y'all
Yeah.
should care.
Yeah.
Because again, like the more we grow with our knowledge, which is gonna be one of my questions.
Yeah.
The more we grow our knowledge of how to take care of ourselves, we don't need the over-the-counter medicines.
Right.
We don't need
Right.
the icy hots.
Right.
We don't need like Bengay. We just could easily just go to the gym, or you don't have to go to the gym. Build a small little corner in your office or in the garage,
Yeah.
and just use some bands.
Use some
like
bands.
bands are legit my favorite.
Yeah.
Like every single time I go to the gym and I see so many weights are taking over, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do shoulder mobility.
Exactly.
Until it's done.
Exactly.
So that when I make sure I do my incline press, ooh, I'm gonna look so good.
Yeah, for sure.
So during the beginning, how do you? Where was that moment that they finally built trust to you? Because again, like you said, like politics it's all over the world, no matter
Absolutely.
what. Like
Yeah.
people will protect what they have until they start learning, like, okay, this guy is actually being good to us. He has good intentions. He's not here to hurt us. He's actually here to help us. When did that launching moment came about? Like, when did that moment, like, okay, we trust this guy now?
I think a big part of it is just the consistency of showing up, right? So I want to say I started in May or April, one of those two.
Yeah.
And I asked Sharmel if I could go to the practices and just watch. And then so I would do that, and they would ask who I was and what I do, and they're like, okay. I'm like, yeah. I mean, if you need me to take a look at anything, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Shout out to Courtney for making this for me. Amazing, amazing, crafty course. They're incredible, man. But yeah, so I would just show up and I would watch them move, and then if someone's like, rubbing their shoulder kind of gingerly, I'm like, hey, you want me to take a look at that? Can I see what I can do? Maybe I can make suggestions, things like that. And then that eventually evolved into I was getting a workout, and I was an intense pump at the gym, right? And I was like, man, this is like intra pump clarity. Let's go. So I was like, Sharmel, you want me to help out at like the shows?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. I'm like, I'll be there. And so like since then, I think just being seen at the events and then like offering up my services, to help them, has kind of opened their eyes to the fact that like I'm there, they can receive help. And that's also why I record what I record on my Instagram. I want to show that exposure that like this is what's happening in the background. No one else is doing it. Yeah. They have access to it, and this is a world that we can open up and expand if we have the right people doing it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Again, like your story is so amazing. So
I appreciate that.
Again, going back to my previous question of knowledge.
Yeah.
How long would wrestlers would have lived back in the 80s, 90s if they would have had that knowledge? Because I feel like their medicine was sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
bottle of Jack,
yeah.
bottle of pills, and that's it. And
yeah.
It's sad to hear because you have like my heroes like Eddie Guerrero, sadly Chris Benoit, and you have so many like legends, Mr. Perfect, Miss Elizabeth, like everybody that I could think of like randomly because I don't want to think about dead people. So just so many of legends that could easily pass that age of 30, 40, 50.
Oh, yeah.
Hell, they would still be with us in the PC.
Yeah.
Like what knowledge you wish you would have given to them for that longevity?
Yeah. Well, that's a great question because I think it comes to this, I almost think it's a controversial thought in my mind where like if you have access to help, in this case, like you have the Vanguard at Reality of Wrestling, pain is a choice.
Ooh. Woo!
Right?
Cold
so
line.
Pain is a choice. So
it's a cold line.
You have the access to someone that can help you, but your identity is so ingrained by the pain and like the pride that you have in carrying this pain that you're willing to
I'm so proud to get a chair shot.
Yeah. Well, like you're so willing to maintain that pride as it's part of your identity.
Wow.
Right, but is it affecting how you wrestle? Is it affecting your wrestler's identity? Are you stopping yourself from doing this particular move? Maybe you're stopping yourself from doing like a suplex or jumping off the top rope because you're afraid to land on your knees or you're afraid to land on your back. So you throw that move out because you don't want to fix it. Wow. Pain's a choice. I'm there. We're out there. We can help you with that.
That's cold. That's
right?
the coldest line. I'm putting that somewhere in my wall.
Maybe that's on my next shirt, man. I'll get you one.
No, I want that. excellent quote because you
Yeah.
see the Undertaker having so many
Oh, man.
surgeries,
Yeah.
and he's walking with the stiffest back. Like I'm
Absolutely.
not gonna say the name, but
Yeah.
but the moment we did a meet and greet with them on AEW, like I saw their back just locked.
Yeah, man.
And my friend from shout out to Front Row Phil, he said like, "Wow, he looks good because look how jacked he is." I was like, "I don't know if that's that. I think that's his body pose."
Yeah, for sure,
So
for sure.
it was just so funny that I saw that, and the first thing I don't develop that eye, but I was just like, "Yeah, that man's back's locked."
Yeah, it's not moving too well.
Yeah, everybody thinks like, "Oh, I'm flexing, I'm
Yeah.
looking good." I was like, "No, boy, I can tell you probably go to bed like this, and then you have to lay down like this."
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Well, I mean, so to your question, it's like if LeBron is doing all this stuff and he's playing basketball into his 40s and at a high level, that's unheard of, right?
Yeah.
Granted, yeah, he has the money and access like that, but even if he didn't have the money, he'd find a way.
Yeah.
Right? So like if we're talking about wrestlers back in the 80s or whatever, I mean, I don't see why we can't add another 5, 10, 15 years to the longevity of their careers if they took care of their joints and their bodies the way that they needed to.
Yeah. I mean, one example is AJ Styles because he said that not too long ago he discovered cold plunges.
Yeah.
And he said like I feel like that added 5 more years to my career. And I'm sorry, AJ. If you come to my pod, probably won't do that voice. But even that, like, I feel like I won't say it's too late when they find that knowledge, but I feel like they just get it like, I don't know, they probably get it too late. Because like AJ, he's still doing it in his 40s, but even still, he said next year, 2026 is his last year. But I feel like if he would have discovered that 10 years ago, I feel like it would have been 2030 for him to retire.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to find the proper way to say this without sounding like disrespectful.
Oh, for sure, for
but
sure.
just like the way you said, like pain is a choice. That just blew my mind, and that changed my whole perspective of all of my questions I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it might as well be. Because again, like you said, they pride themselves like, oh man, I took a good chair shot.
Yeah.
I'm like, even as a little kid, I'm like, that's gonna make you dumb.
Yeah, right.
And come to find out, that was CTE.
CTE, here we are.
It's crazy how some of our favorite wrestlers could easily survive more if they would just like, hey, why do we need chair shots? Why do we hit ourselves with this and that just for the crowd and the roar? Do you feel that way, or when you were seeing, because you're from the Attitude Era, so you probably saw some hardcore matches.
Yeah.
So was there any of that point, even as a kid? Because as a kid, I thought like chair shots were dumb.
Yeah,
like,
sure,
why are you
sure.
hitting yourself with a chair shot?
Sure.
And for you, did you have that moment, or was it that just too early for your thought process?
Yeah, man. I think it was too early, but even earlier on, I would think to myself like, man, I hope they're okay. Like that's legit all I would think about. And now that I have the knowledge that I do, I'm looking back, I'm like, well, I mean, I'm glad we're not taking it too much like as we used to in the past. There's a little bit more like regulation to how often they're doing it, which I think is a step in the right direction. Because I mean, concussions are no joke.
It's not, and that's another reason why I did most of my research projects on CTE, and I always use pro wrestling as an example because I know pro wrestling. I don't know how to write a 50-page research paper, but if I use that and combine it together, you better make sure I'm going to get into at least 40 pages.
Absolutely.
Because again, like CTE, sadly, CTE and wrestlers are hand to hand, sadly. But do you feel like that is becoming lessened ever since the WWE introduced the wellness policy and other companies that introduced that, like, hey, the moment we see your bell rung, like, we're going to stop this match. Even there was a controversy with 2012 with Daniel Bryan where his match got stopped by Triple H with Randy Orton, and everybody was just like, wait, what's going on? What's going on? It's because the dude is concussed.
Yeah,
we need to stop this match. Like, how many matches we could have easily stopped? We could have stopped the Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley.
Sure.
But no, we're running on testosterone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, do you feel that now that it's more educated, I feel like, do you feel like you can see the difference now in today's product than the product back then?
I mean, there's definitely a difference in the presentation of the product. I think it's going to be one of those waiting game situations to see like how it affects wrestlers in the long run.
Yeah.
You know, I do think it's probably for the best, or at the very least, if you're gonna finish off a match and you probably do have a concussion, hold them off for a little bit, because that second impact syndrome is no joke, man. Like we don't want to see these people that we all idolize and love and cherish, like, not be able to do what they do because that's a huge part of who they are.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I've learned too, just being at Row. Like, it was because of Gino, my guy, our guy, Gino. He came up to me after one of the matches and just gave me a hug and just thanked me for doing what I do. And that's when I realized, like, no, this is huge for them. Like, this is who they are.
Yeah.
So, like, you take away that identity from them in the long run. Like, who are you? Like, who do they think they are?
Yeah.
You know? And so, like, we want to be able to bless them with the ability to keep that identity and do what they love so that they can entertain us and do, you know, so we can watch what we love. But I do think it's probably a step in the right direction. And I think in the next few years, time will tell. And I think it'll be for the positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like, again, I don't like mentioning names and death,
Mm-hmm.
but I live long enough to see, like, certain wrestlers that we love throughout childhood all the way to the end.
Yeah.
At least touching 80s and 90s of their ages, because I still remember that interview with Roddy Piper. He said, like, they want me to hold my pension until 65. I'm not gonna make it to 65.
Yeah.
And I still remember driving to Dallas, and he passed away at the age of 63 or 62. But he was right. He didn't even touch 65.
Right.
And it sucks.
Yeah. For sure.
But let's stop talking about negativity.
Change up, man.
Let's make
it
it positive. We got some fun questions.
All right.
So, with your career in physical therapy, what is the one wrestler that you would love to sit down and just give a whole section? How about this? We'll do the Mount Rushmore. We'll do the top 4.
God, you know what? The funny one of the top ones for sure.
Yeah.
I would love to have Booker on my table.
You know what's so funny? I was going to say that, and I wanted you to say it.
I would love to have Booker.
You probably see him walking around.
I do. I see him walking around. I'm like, man, I could do so much for you, man. Just come on over. I know he's a busy man. You know, I respect the craft.
Busy.
You know what I mean? So it's like, if he ever comes over one day, that'd be awesome.
For sure.
And then in terms of like Mount Rushmores, though, man, like, it's more, my mindset is more service oriented. So it's like, whoever needs me the most, please come to me. You know what I mean? I have my favorite wrestlers. You know what I mean?
With that. If they come to you, who would those people be? Let them come to you. They'll say, like, you know what? I saw your videos. Let me come to you. Give me 3 more. You got it.
All right, let's see. We got 3 more, man. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about who I'd want, because, like, there's been so many, like, major injuries. It's like, I can't, it's like, I love AJ Styles. Right? Like, I love AJ. AJ, reach out, man. We'll make it real quick. It doesn't take long, I promise you.
And then afterwards, you get a cold plunge.
Yeah, and with a cold plunge, man. Yeah, and I'm trying to.
AJ,
yeah, and I'm trying to think of who else. Like, I want someone from like AEW also, just because we went to the show and I was like, this is an incredible show too.
For sure.
So someone like a Kenny Omega or someone that's just been around,
Kenny
right?
Definitely needs it.
Like, I would love to see, I would love to see them and see what I can do to fix them up, keep them going.
So obviously, with consent, what about one woman? Like, we got to put a woman up there. With consent, y'all.
With consent.
Because, again, you know how the internet is.
No, for sure, absolutely. And always respectfully, too, right?
Yes.
So, like...
Because the last video I saw with you was with Hollywood.
Dude, she's...
Holly Hood.
Yes,
I'm
Haley,
sorry I butchered her name.
Shout out to Haley. She makes my videos hard to edit because she's hilarious. Like, she says...
Because I saw she was, like, laying down with the puppy. I was like, bro, how can I focus?
She says off-the-cuff things all the time, and I'm like... Do I edit that, or do I just, like, what do I do?
I just put the beat, buddy.
Yeah, no, for sure. I would love to in the WWE. I'm a huge mark for Rhea. Huge mark, power wrestler, right? Like,
no, and she even said it with her finisher, the Riptide. Like, she used to do it sitting down.
Yeah.
But because of longevity, she has to just up and slam.
I know.
And because of that, fans got pissed off.
Yeah,
but again,
for sure.
If y'all were just educated of why she changed her finisher, then you understand why. And she gave you a legitimate answer at the Chris Van Vliet, which I saw you at AEW. Shout out to you.
Shout out to Chris, man.
Yeah. So with those little changes, like, definitely it is needed.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Another fun question. In your bag, because, you know, every single therapist has a
man.
bag.
I got a bag.
Everybody loves a bag. Give me the top 4 things that will be in that bag when you need
at all times.
At all times, no matter what.
The first thing I'll have in there is my mobility belt. The mobilization belt, I should say. the reason I need that in there is because I'm trying to save my own hands. You see, so like when I'm mobilizing someone like Ryan, your hip, man, or someone like that, like I need that belt because if I'm using my hands, I'm already developing arthritis in my thumb. Like 8 years into this, I'm like, my thumb, really? And so like the mobilization belt gives me a little bit more movement and more effectiveness on their hip.
Yeah,
And
I
any
think
other
my
joint.
mom's getting the same thing with the.
Yeah,
And
dude.
she's like, I need on my side, my side. I'm like, girl, this is all I can do.
Yeah.
I'm Googling. That's all I can do. Like, you have to do something else. Like, that's life.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so like that helps you, not just hips, but like everything. I can do a lot of things with that. So that's one of the things. Another one, it's always going to be my consent forms and my waiver liability stuff. Always.
See what I mean? Consent
Always.
forms.
Do it right. We're doing this right.
Yes.
You know, so we got that. Yeah. The other one is going to probably be my soft tissue tools. Because again, I'm trying to save my hands. Like, so I'll use those soft tissue tools on them to help calm some of the muscles down. And last but not least, one of my favorites is Rock Tape. Steve from Rock Tape, thank you for believing in me and sending me some of that stuff so I can help out the wrestlers and show off how great the product is.
Like
Seriously.
I said, you know so many good people.
That's amazing. It's wonderful
All right,
encounters.
So again, I'm gonna think about more.
Yeah,
but
man.
What is the top 4 exercises that everybody needs to do in order to continue walking and living a great life?
All right. So I will say this because there's so many body parts.
Yes, I know.
But the 2 biggest ones I typically see over at Reality of Wrestling that I treat quite a bit.
Can I guess?
Yeah, please. I would love that.
All right, back and knees.
Surprisingly, no. I would think it. I would think
Yes.
I'd see more backs. I don't. I only see Gino. This guy, he does all this stuff. I love him though, man. But surprisingly, no. I thought I would see a lot more backs because they take so many bumps.
Yeah.
But I think what happens, what my theory is, and I've talked to other PTs about it too. Shout out to Dr. Pat for opening my mind and just like talking wrestling with me, and Brent. Thank you also. So I'm just like, if they're landing all the time like this, it's like, why doesn't their back hurt more? And I think part of it is like their nervous system kind of adapts to what's going on.
Wow.
And then their spine is also adapting to the impacts as well and the muscles. So they don't, yes, it bothers them, but it doesn't hurt nearly as bad as, say, you want to take another guess? Or
I would say hips.
Okay, so we'll go with hips for sure.
Okay.
I would say it's actually almost a tie. Because lately it's been, you want one more guess?
It has to be shoulders.
Yes, shoulders and hips are my 2 biggest ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was that's the tie
The
one.
top 2, and then everything else is kind of like sprinkling. Maybe back is 3rd, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, so hips, take care of your mobility, right? Shin boxes, 90-90s, those types of things, deep squats, not necessarily with weight, but get deep and low, access that range of motion. Very much one of those things where if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
At least with me, because I'm stiff as a board, so like I've lost my mobility.
Same
I have to
thing,
work
like,
on it.
Like my goal ever since I started martial arts, I wanted to do the Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, yes.
Like that's always been my goal
Yes,
since day one.
yes,
I'm like,
yes.
I'm gonna get there one day. And one thing I started out was my hips, and I could barely you know the sayings, ass to grass.
Yep.
And I started developing my hips. I started grabbing a pole and go all the way down as low as I can.
Perfect.
And I started getting lower, and then I started getting lower, and then to the point I started using with no hands.
Yeah.
And again, since we're giving shout out to Squat University.
Squat U.
You are an amazing person, and I want to interview you the same way I interview this man. And then knees over toes guy, I think that's his name. And then Bob and Brad. Those are like my top 3 YouTube videos that I will praise for, because you said yourself, like, we're so like closed-minded and political that like we want to keep our secrets because we want to sell it to we want to make profit, but it's like you're just hurting everybody because if you don't have customers, then like what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So because I feel that some people just put a Band-Aid on you, just like you'll be back.
Yeah.
But it's like no, I want you to live longevity to the point that you come back and want to continue doing the sessions.
For sure.
So again, with Squat University, like I started out with holding the pole, then I holded the kettlebell, then I went to the weight, and I started developing my hip mobility.
Yeah.
All because I just sat down and just watched the YouTube videos and I educated myself, because that's the closest thing of me doing internship.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, I don't know if this is legal or not, but one of my friends needed help, but because his mom suffered a stroke.
Okay.
And her lower left side was dead. And
Yeah.
and I started slowly helping her. And obviously, I warned them like, hey, I have no experience. I have no liability waivers.
Right.
Is it okay? And they're like, yeah, we're all gonna be there. And I was just that makes me even more nervous. But luckily,
sure.
she developed her skills, even though it's not the way she wants it. But I'm trying to educate her to slowly accept the new reality
Yeah.
that you're probably gonna have to use more your right side than your left side.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, she's still like a little bit like negative.
For
so
sure.
how would you try to educate someone like that that's like so stubborn,
Yeah.
so like I don't want to do this, like why am I not improving? What's the point of all of this? How would you educate them? Because again, you have such a positive vibe to you because
Appreciate
again,
that.
Charmel, he passed the vibe check. Like you have this strong presence. How would you get them to understand that like, hey, this is working.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gonna be long term.
Yeah, and that's something I deal with every day in the clinic, right? So one of the things that I've learned is I have to meet them where they're at. Like I can't just go in there and be like, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this. It's like if that happened to you, you wouldn't do anything,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
So you have to kind of meet them there. And then what you do is you have to point out the consistency with their improvement. And it's so easy. Once you lose, what I've learned is once you lose movement or motion, right, for a patient, they start losing some of their identity, just like the wrestlers.
Yeah.
Right? Similar type of things. There's a parallel between the two of them. And so what you have to do is point out consistently, hey, remember last week or 2 weeks ago, you couldn't even do this. Now you're here.
And I keep telling her that, and I show her videos of that.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like I try to educate her, like, hey, I want you to start learning how to do, how to stand up out of the chair without grabbing anything. And I told her that, like, first, okay, you could grab as much as you want.
Yeah.
All right, next week I'm gonna give you this stick. I need you to hold this stick and this broom, and we're gonna learn to stand up. And she's like, I can't. I was like, try. I'm here. I'm gonna catch you. Trust me.
Yes.
And then it got to the point that she gave me one big one.
Yeah.
And
Good.
I told her like, okay, next week you're gonna give me 3.
Yeah. There you go.
And then it got to the point that she doesn't even need the stick. She just could get off of her own. Now she still feels like, oh man, I used to do it without doing it. I was like, no, you got to that point.
Yeah.
And I just wish like I could absorb your energy and just transfer it to her so that she
Sure.
understands that she could do it. I just feel like that's not the part of my charisma that I developed with
Then
my exercise.
this is your who again? It's your.
Oh, it's my friend's mom. Like,
Yeah, and I think part of it too is like, it's tough treating family.
yeah.
Like so tough.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
my dad, hey,
Trust
work
me,
on me.
I feel like it's the same thing with my mom.
Yeah, man, it's tough. Anyone that you're related to, like
Like,
they're
why you
just
went
like,
to school for? Come
you're
on,
just
help me.
you're
And I'm
just my
like,
son. You don't know, and I'm like, I'm literally okay, whatever.
I know, right?
So
Parents.
that's part of it, right? And so it's like I've had friends that are like, no, I had to go send them to a person that I trust because they won't listen to me.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
some of the best like PTs I've ever met.
Yeah, yeah.
But their parents are like, no.
no.
So it's not. I don't think
Right.
it's you. That's not fair for
Yeah,
you to think
no,
like,
for
oh, I
sure.
can't. It's because you've got a lot of charisma yourself, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
seriously.
It just feels like, and another thing is because like she only speaks Spanish. I feel like there's a language barrier. 'Cause
sure.
My Spanish, I always say everybody is 60%, and the same thing my English, but you put it together it's 120. So you know. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's a language barrier, but that's why I was just like, hey, this is universal. You
Yeah,
understand how to do
yeah.
this? You can do this.
Absolutely, man.
So,
Functional.
Again, I want to thank you so much for
Oh,
coming
dude,
in,
it's a
man.
pleasure.
But let's wrap
Seriously.
it up with the final Mount Rushmore of favorite quotes, because every single PT has a favorite quote, which I already know number one is pain is a choice. But what would if that doesn't include, what would be your top 4? Because I want you to end this
for
pod
quotes.
with a positive quotes.
Yeah, man. So one of the ones that I've always kept in mind was when I was in PT school, the chair at the time was talking to me. I was class president, so I'd have to do meetings with like the other faculty. And then she pointed out, and I didn't even know it at the time, but she said, you are not just the president of the class of 2017. You are a brand now.
Wow.
And that was in PT school. I didn't understand what that meant.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, so like, and everyone's a brand. Like you're a
Yes.
brand, right? So we have to act accordingly, right? So that's one of them. The pain is a choice thing. I'm gonna put that to the side because that is a good one. I like that.
Oh,
one.
I would get a tattoo somewhere.
Yeah. Let's see what else. from my wife, Jen, Dr. Jen. I met her in PT school, right?
Nice.
She's incredible. She has the same training that I do, but she's also specialized in cancer rehab.
Okay.
So you're an amazing PT and an amazing human being, and that's why I put a ring on it.
Ooh, that's a quote. That's a quote. Like, that's why I put a ring on it.
She said to me, "You're always great, and I'm always proud of you." Right, and so like even if it's not from my wife, it could be from anyone. Like you could hear that from him, and you could say it to him.
Yeah.
And it would mean a lot. So you know, that's your Jen. No, I'm just kidding. So those two right there, right? One of the ones that always hits is, gosh, I'm gonna ad-lib it, but it's like we are what we repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence is a choice.
Oh,
right?
nice.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's something along the lines like that. It's like, oh no, sorry, excellence is a habit, not a choice.
Oh, okay.
So you just constantly do what's excellent, and you keep growing from there.
Fire. Last one. Drop it.
The last one, this is gonna sound real negative. You're going to die. Gary V.
I get what you mean.
Gary V.
If you understand what that meant, again.
Yeah.
So elaborate.
Gary V. You're gonna die. Don't waste your time. You have one life to live. So that was what a lot of my motivation of why not, right?
Yeah.
That was my constant why not. Should I do this wrestling thing? Why not? Why not me be the first person to do this? Like I don't know any other PTs that are doing this.
Yeah.
I don't know any other like healthcare professionals that are consistently doing this.
For sure.
You know, I've talked to different wrestlers and they're like, we don't have any of this in any of the other promotions.
Wow.
Trick Williams, like
Trick Williams.
Trick, he actually he came over to me and he goes, can you work on me for a little bit? I was like, yeah, sure, right? But I didn't know who it was at the time. I was about to go out to the show and I turned around and I was like, you? And he's like, yeah, he just needed some stretching. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And so like I'm working on him and I'm like, man, I'm surprised you came over here. And he goes, yeah, I was actually surprised your table was empty. And I'm like, I was like, for real? For real? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, man, like this stuff is important. And I'm like working on him. We're talking a little bit more strength and conditioning stuff, stretching.
Well, not only that, he's a former football player, so
Yeah.
he knows it more.
He knows it. And then at one point, like I'm really stretching him and we had a good chat about like different techniques on stretching and things like that. And then he like looks around, he goes, have they caught on to how important this is? Right? He looks at me and asks me that. And I said, they're coming around. They're coming around. He does a small chuckle. I chuckle back because he knows what that means. They are. They're coming around. So it's like, it's important. You know, they'll realize it sooner than later. And so like the people that come to me now, thank y'all so much for doing that for all of your trust. But they've learned that they can choose to not be in as much pain or have no pain. They get that mental health boost when they come see me, even if it's just for a quick stretch. Like Vanguard got them. They'll be fine. You know?
Please continue plugging, man. Where do they find you if they want to educate themselves and continue educating and seeing their favorite stars being worked by you? Yeah, man. Reality of Wrestling's home right now. I am open to checking out some other places too. So if there's any promotions that want to see what I'm all about, I'm happy to come out. Phoenix Lucha.
If you even want to do any seminars where I can just do a quick presentation and some printouts on what types of exercises we can do to keep that longevity in your wrestling careers going, reach out to me. Vanguard PTX on Instagram is my current. I'll probably start transitioning my content to a little bit more. These exercises would be helpful to do this, right? Because again, we talked about hips. We see a ton of shoulders. We gotta keep those shoulders nice and strong.
Shakira said it. Hips don't lie.
Hips don't lie,
Same
man.
Same thing with Young Jog, the shoulder lean. You know?
That's exactly right, man. That's exactly right. But yeah, I'm an open book. You know, like I don't have to worry about lying or anything like that. Like I'm real, I'm authentic. I'll give it to you straight.
No, 100%. You definitely are.
Yeah.
And I truly appreciate it for talking to Kung Fu Eddie.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man.
And we are out, y'all.